Welcome to the Climb Your Everest podcast, a platform where we delve into the incredible stories of women who have triumphed over their personal challenges and are making a profound impact on the world. I'm your host, Sarah Safari, and I'm honored to be the founder of Climb Your Everest, a nonprofit organization passionately committed to offering education and empowerment opportunities to marginalized women, enabling them to unleash their true potential. Joining me as a co-host on this exciting journey is Avi. Together, we are on a mission to bring you inspiring narratives that will uplift your spirit, ignite your passion, and motivate you to climb your own Everest.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Avi.
So in the previous episodes, you talked about the earthquake, you talked about some of the nonprofit work that you do, and you talked about your visits to Nepal and some of your home visits to these Nepali girls. When I was reading your book, Above the Mountain's Shadow, and I have it with me, you shared a personal story about a teacher that visited your home, and I think that's very relevant. Can you tell that story to our audience?
Well, so when we started kind of visiting homes of these girls, basically, I remember when I was little, a few of my teachers, they decided to come to my home and kind of tell me how good I'm doing and kind of encourage me for my academic achievements. And so they decided on a holiday to come visit my house. And first I was nervous because I thought I did something wrong. That's why they're visiting my house. But they were really there just to tell my mom that I'm doing great. And it kind of really moved me and motivated me. So if I was getting like B's until that day, from that day I started getting better grades because I just thought, oh my God, they are paying attention to me. Somebody is seeing me. I'm not this kind of random invisible person. And what they did really inspired me to do even better at school. So when we started visiting the homes of these girls, it was one of these girls, her whole house, who she was living with her grandparents because her parents just left her, and she was by herself with her little sister and her little brother. So it was 3 kids and 2 grandparents, and they were living in a very small house where kind of I want to say 3 meters by 3 meters, like a very small place where there were like 5 beds. And we walked into her room, that little house, and they were just so generous. They were farming potatoes. They brought some potatoes for us. They boiled it, they peeled it, and they made this cute, amazing hot sauce. I'm not big on hot sauce, but it's like that's the thing that they had to offer. Of course, I'm not gonna say no. So even though I don't do hot sauce, I did hot sauce that day. And it's just they served it to us, and we ate from the same kind of a big bowl together. We were peeling potatoes and we were having potatoes together, dipping in the hot sauce. And she felt at the beginning, she felt really shy, like the same way I was feeling shy when my teacher came to visit me. And she was feeling really, really shy, and she didn't want to talk. She wasn't sure what's exactly going on. And then I told her, I came here to tell you how amazing you are. And I want to thank your grandparents for supporting you, and so that you can continue your education. And I'm just here to tell you we care about you. We see you. We know you're working so hard. We know their situation is not easy, and you're still going to school. And I just kind of felt like that teacher that came to my house 20 years ago on that day really inspired me to do things like that, and how it made a difference in my life. I just wanted to transfer it to somebody else. So when I started my own nonprofit, Climb Your Everest, I started doing that because I see it had such a big impact that I just feel like if there is a 1% chance that this can change their life, I want to be able to provide that for them. So I started continuing doing that and inspiring and supporting them that way.
Yeah, and because it makes them feel, you said it makes them feel like they're not invisible and they matter and someone cares for them and they don't want to disappoint that one person, and that, you know, so you are supporting them and your organization is giving them those opportunities. They want to do better and they want to, you know, contribute. So now let's talk about some of the programs that Climb Your Everest offers. Can you talk about what are the programs and, you know, what's the methodology that you use?
So last time in the last episode, I kind of talked about how I go back to Nepal very often, every 6 months. We do in-person workshops in Nepal every 6 months. But between each in-person workshops, there is a 6 months program, which it's online. It's every Friday and Saturday where these women, they come and participate. And it's a collaborative program where it is designed by them. They say what topics are the most important for them, they like the most, they are benefiting the most, or they need the most. And it's kind of open for suggestion. And we find experts who are be able to create workshops that will teach these women this specific skill that they ask for. Or we have meetings and we talked about their barriers and their needs and their challenges and what sort of a skill would be beneficial for them. And if they are willing to take on and lead the courses themselves, I just we don't want to be the only lecturers, but we want it to be like collaborative and learn from each other and have discussions around each one of these topics. So there are many topics that we cover, but I kind of want to talk about some of them that I think are the most important. Number one would be communication skills for each of these women to be able to get better jobs, to get promotion, to be able to create meaningful relationships. They need to be able to do effective communication, right? They, in their toolbox, some of the tools and techniques they need to have to be able to express themselves confidently is learning how to be self-aware, how to communicate their needs, how to be more confident, how to articulate their ideas and engage in a productive dialogue. So number one skill is communication skills. Next is financial literacy, which is, I think it's one of the most crucial and important part of education, our educational programs, is that finances might not look the same as us. Sometimes in some villages, like when I ask a woman, what do you have? She says, I have a little farm. I can plant potatoes, like that's my farm, or I have 2 chickens, or I have or I have 2 goats, that's it. And learning how to benefit and how to use that, how to empower them economically is something that we teach them, trying to see what are their expenses, how much they can make money, what are some side hustles that they can do, some side projects that they can do. Some of them, they are very, very good with handcraft and they can make different things. And so we inspire them to start a business that way, maybe even expand their business online. So the goal is to make them financially independent. So that's the next thing that we talk about. Next topic is health and well-being and safety. Like for a woman in any country, including Nepal, I think learning about how to have physical safety, mental health and safety, how to take care of themselves, how to practice self-care and self-love and personal safety is very important. So we invite experts, doctors, who talk about different topics that is related specifically for women, for their health, well-being, every week. And I think that's again big part of it, because they can teach that to their kids, to their parents, to their families, aunts and uncles, and kind of it's not gonna stay with them, it's gonna spread in the whole community. Next thing that we talked about is critical thinking and public speaking. Again, it's very important that they learn how to voice their opinion, challenge societal norms, and contribute to meaningful discussions. So we encourage them to critically think, analyze information, develop persuasive communication skills through public speaking and workshops. And I've seen like so much improvement actually over the past 10 years, like being with these women. I remember like once this girl, she walked up to me and she was extremely shy, and over the years she's such a performance, such an amazing speaker, which I think would be a good idea in our YouTube channel to share some of these videos of the girls talking about the skills that they've learned. So that's something we will do. And yeah.
Once I think I actually saw a couple of posts on your Instagram, maybe.
Yeah, and
of the girls.
CYE.
I think they.
Yeah, Climb Your Everest Instagram, I posted, and our LinkedIn account, I posted videos of the women sharing what they've learned through the 6 months workshop. Yeah.
And that's part of kind of their, almost like their graduation or receiving that certification. They have to like do that and video themselves and practice that.
Exactly. So all of them who were graduated, they had a speech moment where they could share what they've learned and what they've accomplished in the past 6 months. So back to the previous question, the other topic that we cover, the programs that we have. I think one of the most important leadership skills is self-awareness, for them to have self-awareness, know about their emotions and their feelings and their thoughts, that discover their passion, and kind of, I think it's like one of the most important things for personal growth and empowerment. So we help them to do some self-discovery by journaling, writing about their weaknesses and strengths, their passion, their purpose, what it's important for them, to kind of get to know themselves better and share in small groups and kind of share together and kind of set an action plan for themselves on what are the things they want to do in their life to be able to achieve these goals. And of course, advocacy for equality, like every group have to come up with a project that they can do. So last time in the in-person meeting that we had in Kathmandu, Nepal, so each group came up with, like, for example, a project that they would do. Like, for example, one was cleaning their community. One was how to do more women's empowerment, how to take care of animals and rescue animals, how to change the educational system. That group, they were teachers and they wanted to change the educational system and make education more available to more people. And so that's very beautiful. And then one group decided to kind of dig into financial literacy and educate more women in Nepal. So advocacy for equality, again, that's kind of, we do it through small projects. And of course, we talk about tempered radicalism and cultural impact of it, and relapse prevention, which is tempered radicalism is that when a person is very empowered and they're living in the community that are kind of one doesn't want to empower them, and we kind of teach them different tools and techniques to stay empowered, even though the society and community doesn't want or see them as an empowered person. And relapse prevention is like after the 6 months program, that getting empowered, then if you go out there in the world without learning new tools and techniques, how you stay empowered is that by coming back, visiting us, mentoring the next generation, teaching future courses, and kind of keep reminding yourself of, this was my journey, these were the tools and techniques that I learned, and I'm gonna keep using them over the years, so that kind of it stays in my system, so don't relapse back to being disempowered. So these are some of the educational programs that we provide, and of course if you go to climbyourEverest.org website, you can see a lot more on the website.
I feel like these are great programs. I feel like I can use them even for myself, you know.
All of us.
So, right, it's, I mean, there are seminars and, you know, large workshops around every single topic that you talked about. Financial literacy. I mean, I think that's, you know, or leadership. Those are, they're all big topics. Now, so you talked about the fact that this workshop is 6 months, right?
Yes.
And so what happens after 6 months? They go back into the society, but how is your organization stays engaged with them?
So these women become the teachers of these topics to the next group of people who are coming. So they go out there, they recruit more people to come on the program by teaching them these skills, by sharing their results and their achievements. So they kind of become the ambassadors of the program. They become the role models, the mentors of the next generation who are coming in. I kind of want to be able to give them the organization and the program, so they lead the whole thing by themselves and make it the thing that they want to make it the most, rather than me creating something out of it, right? So I just want to be this support person on the side. So whatever they need, I can provide it for them. I want them to lead and kind of generate themselves and do whatever they want to do with this.
That's great. And then they have the opportunity to get refreshers through your organization.
Yes.
Support if they need it.
Yeah, it's always, all the Saturday, Friday meetings are always open to them. They can always come back, participate, teach, collaborate, design the new programs. That's just, it's free for them all the time. They are alumni of the program, and they can kind of participate in any capacity that they want to.
Now, you talked kind of about the collaborative nature of Climb Your Everest, and you know, I know you had your PhD dissertation and you talked about some of the methodologies. Can you expand on that? Like, what methodologies did you use for Climb Your Everest?
So, I think in the podcast notes, I think we should share the link to my PhD research so that everybody can go and look at it. But the methodology that I use, that I really love, is participatory action research, which is the research where you let the community that you are working with to design and decide. It is not like I'm walking into the research thinking this is what I'm gonna do, number 1, number 2, number 3. I let them. So it's kind of, I have to be okay with letting go of control and be in the space of uncertainty and curiosity the whole time, because they are designing everything. The result might not be something that I want or that I like. It's whatever happens. And I just have to be open with it and try to kind of figure out how I can benefit the group through the things that are happening, because it is them that they're dealing with these challenges, so they know the solution the best, way more than me as a researcher. So that's kind of the heart of participatory action research. So that's why we kind of made the program more interactive, engaging activities. So when I go in person to Nepal in a few months, is that we do a lot of games and group activities to practice everything they learned in the past 6 months online. We do it kind of in games and activities so that they can actually use it and practice it. So it has a lot of collaboration and teamwork and problem solving and critical thinking. It's very experiential. And I want them to lead this, to go out of their comfort zone in front of their friends and their colleagues and their neighbors and sisters, and challenge themselves and discover their hidden potential through all these activities. So we do role plays, which kind of create a platform for them to practice and I asked them, who's the person in your family who are not empowering you? And I'm like, let's have a conversation with that person. And I either become that person or I ask someone else. We do role plays so they get to be empowered, in practice being empowered in a fake situation, so that later when it becomes to real life, they can actually do it.
In difficult situations, right?
In difficult situations, yeah.
You know, you create that safe environment for them so, you know, they can come and express themselves and be open, and, you know, they're not shy and they're sharing. And when you have that type of environment, you're more open to learning and growing too.
Yeah. And you know, that safe environment, it kind of inspired them to share things that they might not have ever shared with anyone. Like, you remember once we were in a circle of like 20 girls and we were talking about leadership. I asked them, what does leadership mean to you? So we were kind of, somebody said self-confidence, somebody said effective communication, that, and then somebody started crying and I said, why are you crying? And she said, leadership for me means that I tell my uncle to stop touching me whenever I don't want to. And that was leadership.
Oh, that breaks my heart.
And so that safe environment, that conversations that open up, they feel safe enough that they can say things that they might not ever say in front of anyone, not their closest people to them, like their moms and grandmas or sisters or anyone. And so like we have the opportunity to help them. Thankfully, we had a psychologist in the group who could help that girl, and we could take it to the next step, heal her, work with her, and kind of introduce her to the right people who can take care of her. But it's very, I guess I'm very lucky. I have a lot of friends who study psychology and they volunteer and they come on these trips with me. So when the scenario like this happens, there's always a person who can just jump in and help and kind of take over, which is amazing. So these small group activities that we do, that safe environment, even when we talk about a topic that might not be related, that provides an environment for them to share, to open up, to mentor each other, to kind of share with each other opportunities, tools and techniques that maybe the other one don't know. So I think that kind of is very helpful to kind of provide that for them, that safe space.
Yeah, that platform and that space. So you really through these programs, the goal of Climb Your Everest is to equip these women with tools, knowledge, and experience that they need to be the change agents in their own communities, and, you know, be more confident leaders, empower them to drive positive change, and challenge these societal norms that they have, right? And hopefully create a more equitable and inclusive society.
Exactly. And I think just hearing from each other, like listening to each other's stories, really help them to take it to the next level. And I kind of want to share a lot of stories. I feel like we can learn through stories a lot better than facts and concepts. So in the next episode, maybe I can share more stories, experiences that shared by these women throughout the workshops or throughout us interacting over a tea or coffee. And we can kind of, by listening to these stories, we can explore how we can our personal growth and the impact that working with these communities makes on them, in their community, and on us. It's such a learning, life-changing experience, even for me, every single time that I go to Nepal. So I kind of want to encourage everyone to kind of stay tuned, be with us. These stories are life-changing, and maybe it can inspire and encourage you to kind of bring that to your own community.
Yeah, and these stories will be shared on Instagram and the YouTube channel as well, right?
Yeah.
So follow us and subscribe for more. And remember that education is key to unlocking a world of possibilities and creating a more equitable future for all. So keep climbing your Everest and empowering others along the way.
Great. Thank you. At Climb Your Everest, our mission is to provide access to education and resources to marginalized women so that they can gain the skills and knowledge they need to succeed in their lives and communities. But we can't do it without your help. 100% of your donation is tax deductible and will go directly towards funding our programs, including scholarships, educational material, and mentorship. So please visit our website, climbyoureverest.org, and make a donation today. Every little bit helps. It costs $25 to sponsor one girl to participate in empowerment workshops for a month. If you are interested, please contact me at sarah@climbyoureverest.org. And together, we can empower marginalized women to climb their own personal Everest. Thank you for your support.